Solomon, what's ableism mean to you?
Just stupid people. I don't know. I don't think it. Basically, I think it's about
because,
education.
mate,
I think
okay, yeah, because I find you have quite a broad sort of allowance of different communities you'll push yourself into and people you connect with and everything, and I feel like you're quite liberal with your allowance of ableism and everything, but at the same time I know that I know from your experiences that you are subjected to it quite a lot. Like, you've got a lot of anecdotes.
Quite a lot of things have happened to me. Like, you know, that I go out, people come out to me and just start touching me. Say, oh, you're very, very, tap me on the head. It's the most irritating thing. First of all, don't touch me. Secondly, like, stay away. Like, it's something that people do. It's subconsciously. I think all it comes down to is the fact that, 43% of people in the UK, they don't know a disabled person personally. I think there are people, I'm guessing those statistics are quite outdated, but I think the fact of the matter is I don't think there's enough people that actually know a person with a disability. And that's part of the challenge, is that as a disabled community, we need to be a lot more active in society, a lot more, able just to go and say hello to anyone. I'm not saying say hello to an axe murderer. I'm just saying that it's quite important to push ourselves outside of our own comfort zones and meet different communities. And actually say, this is who we are, and this is, once people get to know you, then that changes their opinion about you and the prejudice that you all have. And so I think it's just important to interact.
Yeah, I love seeing the people kind of rattled by it, and I mean, you see it over time as well. I mean, as I say, even in our own communities, sometimes it's a tricky one to talk about, because when you see newly diagnosed families, they almost always start off at a point of what we would call ableism, and in its intrinsic nature, not necessarily the stupid idea that, you want to die, but the idea that, again, people want to be fixed, and the idea that, right, this thing, we got to get rid of it. And of course that is political in so much as how far do we push that, how far do we say no, this person might want to be okay with who they are. I don't know.
I don't think it's political. I think it's social as well. I think because, as I said, people,
social political.
I think that it's a good point. I think in terms of, for example, like a newly diagnosed family, it's quite, especially with something like a rare disease like neuromuscular conditions, you feel quite alone. It's such a rare disease, so it's very difficult to find. There is people out there. There are people out there who can support you, but in terms of that first moment, you feel quite isolated, quite alone. So you end up, the first thing that you do, you go on Google, and Google actually, it's quite confusing. It gets quite
Google's not confusing. It's easy. You just type it in.
You type it in, there's all kinds of nonsense on Google. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't make it so difficult. It's online, and so there's and it's really interesting, different communities and how different how people treat disability. And just living all over the world as well. I think it's fascinating, particularly in the UK, is that it tends to, because in America people are a lot more positive about disability. I don't know if that's the fact because they don't care who you are, they just want you to earn money for them, or it's like capitalism at its heart, or if it's like something else. But it just shows, even today in 2016 in the UK, particularly, there's still kind of like quite a lot of fear and quite a lot of misunderstanding around disability. And it's like, actually, this shouldn't be happening. We should be actually talking openly about disability. That is so many things I put my mouth so many times about other disabilities, and so ignorant, but I'm not afraid to actually talk to somebody and engage, whether it's somebody with a different type of disability or somebody who's not a disabled person. I just think it's quite important to start those conversations, just so people get to know me, I get to know them, and I just think it's important as a society because that's the only way we can improve society.
I think, from my own perspective, I think that it's so often that we ceaselessly chase perfection that when people have kids, they want them to be this certain idea of what they are, and then they'll want to smooth every single path to achieve this, and I think it really is more of a case of just the disabled community, as you say, Michaela, just making their voices heard and saying, no, we are okay with this, we are okay, and moreover, you can be okay with this, I think it's those kind of things. I don't know. Sarah, how do you feel? How do you cope with all of that mix? Because that's, what we started at idiots in the Telegraph and worked our way right through to people who are parents of people with disability. Like, that's a mass mix. Like, how do you deal with that broad mix?
I think you just not treat them all the same, but kind of
idiots.
which to be fair, many would say is an ableist term in itself, which I only learned recently because I didn't even think about that. So that, like, when you're saying, people within the disabled community, even showing ableism and having to learn themselves, it's so true, because there's things that I never really even thought about before, because I was very much thinking about it from my own experience of ableism and things people would say to me, and I wouldn't really think about other disabilities and the things that would be said to them, that's why it's all just education, really, and trying to educate people in like a a way that they're not going to feel attacked. Which is a very common thing when you're trying to tell people, that this isn't okay. You can say these things or approach things this way. That people tend to feel attacked. So that's where the real difficulty comes in. So it is. And I don't really know. You have to just go by person. I ended up getting into a bit of an argument with someone because they said, we're just trying to be nice, and I was like, that's fair enough, but it's not nice. People tend to think about how it makes their feel, like how it affects them as not a disabled person when you're using language like shit abled people say. They take it very, very personally. So you have to just try and get around that, really.
Yeah, I think the whole idea of, it's fascinating when people say, well, we're just trying to be nice, because that is, again, on a simplistic level, it really is just be nice or not be nice. But I think you've always got to, life's not like that. Personality isn't like that. Interacting with other people isn't like that, is it? Like, I don't know, Michaela, if maybe if we close this episode by, I think one thing that I was going to say, does it ever make you second guess how you feel? When there is such a mix of people saying different things, and then you sort of go, wait a minute, do I really feel this way? Am I right? I don't know. Michaela, Sarah, what do you think of those things?
Well, that would hit me more when I was at Pride this weekend, and I had a guy run after me. And he was like, oh my God, you're such an inspiration. I can't believe, you're drinking and everything. Can we get a selfie? And he was like,
that's the bonus point now. If you can get called an inspiration for having
I think it was like the first time in ages that it's been said to like my face and not online. He full on ran after me and he was like, can we get a selfie? Can we get a selfie? I was telling my friends and everything. He was like, I work with and he was like looking for a word, and my sister was like,
your sort.
He went, my sister was like, disabled people, and he was like, oh, no, people with disabilities. And I was like, right. And on one hand, I was thinking, he's like, well, he's drunk obviously as well. But I was like, I don't know how to handle that, because on one hand, it's very tiring, and like being talked to like you're not like just like everybody else who's at Pride is quite tiring. And like on the other hand, you don't want to be mean to people. So that's
it's fascinating that it's almost like your experiences just solidify your belief as to, oh my gosh, no, I definitely do feel this way, which is fascinating because for me as an outsider, you know, brother and family disability and close friends, you know, I often do, you know, I've slowly come to, you know, really intrinsically, I feel, understand ableism. But then I will sometimes sort of go, wait a minute, am I right? Do I not? And it's almost heartening to hear from you that actually those experiences just solidify you rather than making you question.
On one hand it does, but then on the other hand,
go on, give us your sub story now.
On one hand, it does make me feel like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing by talking about it, and you know, not pandering to it, because you know, it's better for everyone if people aren't treated that way. But on the other hand, then you do have like the voice in the back of your head that's thinking, am I just alienating people by, you know, talking about it? Or, you know, like, what's better? No one approaching me because they're too worried to like say anything, or, you know, is it better to like tell them? And I ended up just like awkward laughing because I was too shy to be like. But then he did say he was saying his friend had just lost her license because she was drink driving, and I made a joke, oh no, she could have made someone like me, and I think that kind of put them off me a little bit. Just kind of awkward laughed and then left.
I like it.
I think absolutely, I completely agree with you. I think it's really fascinating every time you go out and every time you're just going to a gig or wherever, somebody comes up to you. I've had that sometimes with other people want to take my photo with me, people want to tap me on the head, people want to say, you're an inspirational coming up. Like, no, I'm just out with my mates. Like, seriously, could you ask the guy over there to turn up to me? And so that's a really, really, like, that's
in fact, Solomon, I having been out with you many times, I witness like sometimes people making an extra effort with you, like, and I'm kind of like, sometimes it's obviously because they're a bit drunk, and you know, you're maybe in your snazzy wheelchair up high, or do you know you wear your snazzy clothes or whatever, and I'm kind of like, part of me is like, you know, that's cool and that. And I kind of feel like, but we want to get to say past that, where it's like they're just chatting to you just because they're chatting to you. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. But I kind of feel like the way I feel is kind of like with articles like the Telegraph right now, we're at stage 1. So it's kind of like if we say there's 5 stages, then we shouldn't really complain about stage 4 because it's like that's way ahead of most people. So I kind of... That's what I can. I'm thinking about here. Do you remember when we were at the Hackney Colliery Band? And amazing venue, amazing band. Yeah. And there was that woman, and she was a bit drunk, and she was coming up to you and dancing with you like this. Do you remember?
Yeah.
She wasn't doing it with anyone else. and it was cool. But, you know, part of me is thinking...
Oh, I went to back in, when was it? In March, I went to a gig in someone in the doctor, one of my mates from uni, and this woman, she started grabbed my arms and started yanking them and dancing with it. She was really drunk, and I didn't really want to. And then I did that for went on like 5-10 minutes. It really started to hurt my arms. And then my mate said, "No, what the hell are you doing? Like, no, thank you." Like, and so it's just like people. I understand that people are so afraid, as Sarah said, to say the wrong thing, that they'll say nothing, or when they do say something, they'll be really awkward. I think the way I tried to change that is I tried to have a sense of humor, and that's another thing, that disabled people are not allowed to have a sense of humor. oh, she's really gets on my nerves, like, really? Like, why not? Like, I make fun of myself so much. Like, it's, you know how I sound like someone if I go crack, which is, if you can't laugh at yourself, you can't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michaela, thoughts?
Yeah, flashbacks were going on in my head for all the random people that some people that are from the other person's family that I don't know, to people who literally just crashed the wedding and decided they were going to dance with me at 13 years old. And Mum and Angela were trying to protect me because we were really, really drunk. And and Mum and Angela and intervened, and they just kind of stood in front of me like they were hocus pocus, and kind of were like, right, that's enough. She can speak for herself.
That's the thing.
They crashed around, turned around to my mum and like, she can speak for herself. Let her talk for herself. So like, it ranges so vastly from one person to another.
Well, I think, look, a lot of these situations involve drink. So I think it's kind of like people know deep down how they should act, but they are sort of trapped within themselves to, do it when they're sober. So then when they get drunk, it's like the boundaries down. Now I can go and whatever, and it comes across as like they're being the hero. Of like, I'm going to make a person who I wouldn't talk to in real life because of my fear and ableism. I'm going to give them the time of their lives. So like that's what I often think, and it's really whoa, Ray, do this normally, mate.
Maybe that disabled person just wants to hang out with their mates and not talk to strangers and like.
It's like Steve Way says, I'm not here to give you karma points, that's what it was. And in fact, I only saw a second time of watching when Steve was on that, there was stand-up that he did at one of the conferences a few weeks ago. He said, I didn't catch it first time around, it was brilliant. He said, he said he was at a baseball game with his dad a few weeks ago, and they parked up and they looked around for the parking attendant because they didn't know how much it was to park. And his dad went to parking attendant and went, "Oh, you're right. How much is it?" And he said, "You know what? I've been having some real bad luck of late. So, it's on me." And he said, "It's on me," and he gave them free parking. And Steve he was like, "I am not here to help you get good karma," And Steve said, he was like, "My dad didn't mind." He was like, "Got free parking," But that's the thing. I think it's linked to that. It's linked to the to difference, to a visual difference, and linked to the idea.
I'll tell one of my absolute favorite stories, and this is everything that ever needs to be said about ableism.
I should have told you at the beginning. We weren't about to have all this chat. The only ever needs to be said about ableism. Go on, Michaela. Drum roll.
This is everything that needs to be said. I was out with my sister Martina, who was also in a wheelchair, and my dad and my mum shopping. And it was a really hot day, so rather than stay inside, me and my dad and Martina went outside when mum shopped. So we were sitting at the front door, and my dad always wears a hat, or 9 times out of 10 wears a hat. And me and Martina were on either side of him, and he decided to kneel down on the floor. And he put his hat on the floor because it was so hot. And people started putting money into his hat. And then he was like, "I'm not collecting money. I'm what?" And a man came up to him with 20 quid. And like, this is in the 90s, so 20 pounds was a lot more than what it is now. I went, "Where do you put this?" And I was like, "I'm not collecting money."
You were there. See, my non-ableist mind jumped to the conclusion that they thought your dad was a tramp. And that's why they were giving. Do you see? I'm impressed with myself there. I didn't even get the point of the story. Wow. So they thought you were charity.
I mean, it's one of my absolute favorites. And I mean, every time I go back to it, I think, what would people think? Like, I'm looking for if we learn charity colors or something, but we learned it was in the middle of summer. It's one of the, it just shows you what people think. And people see disabled people and think, oh, we got to help them. But actually, you can help by just acting normal all the time. And you know what normality is. I think that's the question. What is normality?
Well, why don't you, instead of like trying to make everyone just treat disabled people like they're normal, why don't you treat everyone like you treat disabled people when you're being nice to them? Hey? Never thought of that.
I don't think I did. I don't think I have the heart to do that for people.
That's the thing.
People traumatized to be treated like they treat us. They really wouldn't know what you think of grown ups and minus off.
Everyone's judging. Everyone's, is this worth that? Is this worthy of that? You know, and I think, it's all brings out our false preconceptions.
Which is better and which is worse. There's no such thing as better or worse than any other thing. Everything is one and the same. We just seem to forget that an awful lot. And I think that's the thing about people and the way they treat disability. They treat it like they've got a pair of gloves on and it's just out of the oven. They don't know what to do with it. Whereas in reality, it should just be treated like it is what it is. And everybody should be treated that way, not just disabled people.
Sarah, final thoughts?
Don't be ableist.
Yeah, don't be ableist.
I just think people need to listen to people more and don't take everything like an insult. You know, it's just it's good to educate yourself. That's
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we'll be doing many more on these because I think it's quite a political, or as Solomon says, a social importance that we need to keep talking about. This we will have split into 2 episodes, part 1 and part 2, but there will be many more parts. We won't call them parts. We'll just have them as they are. Different people, different things, and keep moving forwards. Thank you all, and thank you all for watching. And comment, let us know, give us a like if you liked it.
Let us know your ableism stories.
Yeah, tell us an ableism story. I want to hear an ableism
Tell us your best one.
And we'll see you all again soon. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.